Welcome friends, lovers, and everyone in between to a brand new video here on the channel. Today we take an unorthodox approach at our usual style. Today we play something a bit more calming and slower paced. Some of you may remember a game called Shapez that was making its rounds on YouTube a year back. They've just released Shapez 2 into early access. Very reminiscent of our Satisfactory live streams. Get ready for some math and efficient factory work. Let's go! Welcome Digities, and what exactly is Shapez 2? Well, Shapez 2 is a bit of a factory builder. We kind of have to use a lot of different numbers to reach your goal, where I'm assuming right now we need to get everything towards the center of the vortex. But this is just a training mod to kind of start us off with. We're going to be taking a little bit more of a long, kind of relaxed look at this game and see what it really has to offer and really kind of get our feel into the factory sense of it all. Place anchors with C while dragging a belt. Okay, good to know. So we can actually do something like, instead of like just trying to drag all over the place, we can actually anchor them down in the corners. Good to know. And then actually start expediting them all the way down into the vortex of doom. This is very different from what you guys may be familiar with. Some of you may even remember like Mindustry is quite similar to this style, but Shapez 1 in of itself was a very unique game in its style that I think a lot of people kind of fell in love with very quickly. Wants us to put in 10 of these circles. Now, how much do these extractors give us exactly? Maybe it's not going to tell us just yet until we go through more of the tutorial. I'd like to see some of our numbers here. I'm a little bit of a min-maxer when it comes to factory games like this. Really try to see if I can build the most space-efficient factory as possible. Place 3 half destroyers to cut Shapez into halves. Okay, but hang on, now it's giving us our numbers. Right now our numbers are 15 per minute for the extractor. That's 15, 30, 45, and 60 for all 4 of those. But how much do our conveyor belts move? So they move 60. Okay, so 4 extractors for 1 full conveyor belt. So before we start building out all these half cutters and half destroyers, why don't we go ahead and start getting all of our extractors ready to go. Get all of them kind of set up and prepared to start launching on over towards the main industry side, where a lot of our parts are going to be needed. So this is going to be all 4 of our main kind of lines of circles, right? So why don't we go ahead and start building out a factory here on this bottom side, or rather building out our conveyor belts to make sure that we always have room anywhere we go. So let's give ourselves a little bit of room on the back side to make sure that we always have something maybe if we need to get behind there, and give ourselves a little bit of room in between each belt as well. Now that I've dragged all 4 belts over here and kind of spaced them out, we need 3 destroyers again to start off with and start filling up these belts over here in the main vortex maw of doom, however you want to, I don't even know what you would necessarily call this thing. It is a, honestly, I'm a little bit scared of it. Like, who put this here? What is the purpose? Where does it go? How did it get there, Cotton Eye Joe? It wants us to build now some extractors down here on the bottom side for some squares. So now we're going to start incorporating in more shapes and different kinds of ideas of how to combine them in different sources of which to do it. So I imagine each of these are still 15 per minute. So with that being in mind, let's combine all 4 and start launching them over one by one. And there we go. Now that we have them all over here on this other side, right now it just wants us to have 10 squares in general. I don't know if it's going to be worth building all of them right now, but it will make it a little bit faster, at least in the end. So we can start getting that going. We have our half circles not piling up right now. Why are you not? That's why. They all come out one single side. I get it. So they all come out that side, right? So I need to fill these in a little bit more properly. Perfect. Now you guys should start working, right? Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? There we go. I fixed it. We just need to have them actually feed in on the correct direction. Go figures. Okay, so let's immediately drag this belt over to the other side. And you know what? Instead of putting it right there, let's split it right down the center so it goes to all 3 a little bit more evenly. Can I do that, or is it not going to let me? It's not going to let you connect in multiple belts all at the same time. Fine, I get it, fine. We'll go ahead and delete these, going from this side and move on over. Now, I believe in this early access, they've gone explicitly for the idea of making it as friendly as possible to new gamers trying to get along the series. Making it a little bit simpler, having a nice, easy to get into tutorial. Make sure you learn all the steps. Just like now, it wants us to do some rotators. So the rotators will rotate, but then we need to cut them again. So cut, rotate, and cut again. So now that we have all these coming outside, right, we already have 60 of these coming out at a time. If we delete these, we're not going to need them anymore, or at least not for the moment. If we delete these, we feed them into another rotator. Yeah, just like so. Then we can kind of feed them in just like last time, and they all come out. And then it wants us to cut them again. So if we drag it back up, get another cutter going in both directions, can we keep these belts right next to each other? You can. Okay, beautiful. So they're going to come on up and get fed into these 3 cutters. The vortex accepts any shape and rotation. The vortex accepts all. The rotation will accept all. The rotation loves you. The rotation, the vortex is all you need to live for. Deeper into the maw of what rotates below. So you know what? Why don't we go ahead and do something a little bit kind of convoluted here? We will actually jump. We will jump our line here. If we take this for a second, hang on, bring these little belts, and yeah, there we go. We can jump our shapes all the way to another side. So if we take these, we have to triple cut them all. We should be able to get this in just enough room, right? Rotate this up, get this going in all three, right? Get this going, and then we have to rotate all of them right there next to one another, and then cut again. And that should be good enough to drag this down into the last vortex kind of little conveyor belt slot right here. Can I get another little jumper right there? Yes, I can. Now all four are filled. And honestly, this is probably how I should be doing it. Why am I doing a weird direction like this? Let's go ahead and delete this right now. And they can all just feed directly into the cutters, right? So I can just go ahead and get rid of that entire section. Milestone completed. Unlock a reward in the milestone interface. The milestone interface. Ah, the big glowing orange tab at the very top. Stacker and second floor. Ooh, you were rewarded the stacker and second floor, allowing you to stack shapes and build multi-layer factories. Let's see what you can do with them. Okay, interesting. Stackers are slow, so always place multiple of them. Oh, they move 10 per minute. You would need 6 of them for a single line? Oh, dear Lord. Okay, so they want circles on top of squares. I don't know if I like my circles and squares mixing. That's weird. I don't know. Let's go ahead and delete this line. Delete this line entirely. Get this going off to the side. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the circles and give myself a little bit of room as I apparently just drunkenly just dragged my camera around in the wrong direction. Somewhere off to the side. Alright, so we need circles on top of squares. Circle on top of squares. So we are going to take our stackers. Let's just go ahead and experiment with this simply now. What if we drag them all the way down to kind of meet with one another almost? Drag them down to this side. Where do they meet up? Right here at this corner, huh? So I would almost want to give ourselves some room here to make ourselves a little bit of room to kind of deal with this and then come back up on this side. But if I need this for the other line, cut that back, come this forward, and then this gives us a little bit of room. There, now we have that. But if the stackers have to go up and we're turning there, we need to have our circles start to go up like almost around here, right? So we'll take our stackers. So if we do this direction, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 for there. We take our squares, connecting floors by pressing Q and E while dragging. Ooh, you go up and down. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So if we take our squares and bring them all over here, they can all come out this other side down this side. That should be a full 60 right now. 6 stackers, 6 squares, that's good to go. But now our circles need to come along off to this right-hand side a little bit. Come up, and instead with Q and E goes up. Okay, but do they go up at the same rate? They do, they go up at the same rate. Nice, so now we should have 60 circles on top of 60 squares being fed into the vortex. So let's drag this path around, give ourselves a little bit more room again. We don't want to cut ourselves off completely just in case. And then if we drag these around, and we might just have to jump it. We might just have to jump it. You know what? Let's jump it. Sure, let's delete a couple right there. We'll take this. How do we... Why don't we just go ahead and move this one a little bit up to the top side? You know, actually, no, we can reverse this. We can reverse this entire direction. We don't need to do that. Take this over to the side. There we go. There we go. Let's not make this convoluted because this will be a lot simpler. As much as I do like the idea of jumping them, we should try to be space efficient as soon as possible. Otherwise, we are going to be regretting it later on. Nice. Research points are rewarded for completing side tasks. That's good to know. Okay, research points. Tasks. Cutting step by step. Pin the task you want to work on, making them always visible. Let's go ahead and pin this one. That's one that we're kind of working on right now. Oh, that's circle on circle. Ooh. But we also got square on square, square on square action. We can just pin these both. Yeah, we can pin both of those. We'll move these circles on over. Yeah, this will work. This will work. Can't I split them somehow? How do I split these lines? One will go up high. How does this work again? How does this work again? Don't I need to... We'll do one and then go high up here. Is that how that works? I need to figure out how to use my conveyor belts again, apparently. So we need to have a bottom side and a top side. So if we do that, why don't we do 1, 2, 3? They do 10 per minute, but if I'm splitting this into 30 and 30, that should be enough. I need to move a floor up, but for some reason they don't seem to be connecting, and I think I'm missing something here. Right, if I take a look out of this mode, they just connected. I'll be right back. Oh, there we go. You have to drag and go up. Good to know. Okay, now we got our conveyor belts working. That should be making our stacked circles, right? So if we then take this off the side, we don't need to go all the way up every time, right? We don't have... Oh, no, we do have one slot left. One slot left until we upgrade more slots into our vortex. Oh, now you want these things cut? You want these things cut? Okay, well, I guess we can kind of do that. We'll take these cutting machines here. We'll delete, I think, we'll just go ahead and delete all this, pretty much. We'll just get rid of all these conveyor belts, because we're not really going to need them anymore if it's not asking for them. We can take all of our cutting machines. We'll be able to, let's kind of get this conveyor belt out of the way, because we can kind of drag this around more off to the side, and that'll be better for us in space conservation. And that way, because this is taking 60 per minute, and these only cut 20, so we can get 3 right there. Yeah, we can get 3 right there, and those should be able to cut and get that requirement that we're looking for. We need 400? 400? Oh my, that's a lot. That's a lot. Well then, well, and I also just noticed something. It also wants the small square pieces as well. So we need to get rid of all of this again, because we need to still use our space a little bit more efficiency. So we need to take our 3 cutting machines again. We're gonna go this direction. We need to feed this into all 3 of them. I'm going to take all 3 of them and I'll cut this amount in half, right? So we got those 3. Those are cutting properly. And then if I were to take one and then split this off into another direction, take this all the way off to the side, bring you up to there, I need to split these ones again, right? So if they only cut in one direction, what direction do they cut? They cut along the lengthwise. So I need to rotate them. Yeah, I need to rotate them, and then I'll cut them all again. Stop hitting the wrong buttons. Stop hitting the wrong buttons. There, so we do that, rotate them, then cut them all again. Barely just fit it in. Yes, just barely fit it in. There we go, nice. And then that should feed right back into the 60 line, because that's going to be a 30 and a 30 feeding into a 60 line. That should be more than enough. It's only a little bit full right now, because there's a little bit backfilled on that. So we are going to start getting our requirements here. Very nice. And honestly, I'm having a lot of fun playing this thing. If you guys have been having fun playing this too, make sure to join the Discord and be part of the very first 100 people to be part of the Digital Dave community. The Discord and our community is still small, but hey, you can help grow, give ideas, and look out for the community posts. So feel free to like the video, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and keep an eye out for the Discord down below in the description. I also just noticed that my circles are not doing the... Oh, that's because it wants squares, not circle squares. Good to know. Squares, not circle squares. So then this entire line then is completely pointless. I don't need that right now. I can just feed all those in. That was just a waste. Right, so we still have our squares. Oh, actually we have an entire square line here too that we're not even using. Good, so we can actually probably use one for square on square action, and then we can use 2 of these lines for triple square action. 3 and 3. 3 and 3, 3 and 3. That should be good, right? Yeah, keep that going. Put those all into that line there. That'll be good enough. But then I need to stack on top of this. So if I go up and then drag, if I remember correctly, no, wrong button. If I remember correctly, drag. No. I need to drag from below. And then go up. Yes, that's how we do it. Good. Now we can build up on this top side, rotate them back around from the top side as soon as I make sure I learn all the controls with my fingers. And that'll be good enough to fill in that satisfaction, right? Yeah, that'll be able to give us a square on top of square action. So now we need triple square action. How do we want to do this? Because I think our number is going to be off no matter what. 2 lines of 160. But I need to, that's 120. 120 divided by 3 I think is what 30, no, 45, 90, 125. Ooh, what are we looking at here? So 120 divided by 3, isn't that something along the lines of, wait, here's the math. 40, 80, 120, 40, 80, 120. I'm smart. I know what I'm doing. 40, 80, 120. So how do we get a 40, 80, 120? All right, I think oh shit, dying. Who put that air there? Sorry. All right, I think I finally figured it out. I was overthinking this entire thing. We need to make 2 lines of 30, 30, and then we need to keep our 60 line on top of that. 2 lines of 30, 30 stackers will make a 60 again, and then we can use our last 60 line to stack on top of that 60. Let's split it into 2 30, 30s, like so, and we can do the same thing that we've been doing before. Let's give ourselves a little bit more room. Let's give ourselves a little bit more room again. You know, let's do this in the opposite direction. Let's do this in the opposite direction. Let's do 3 stackers there. Now that we have our 2 30, 30 lines, so we have a 30 here going into 3 3s that do 10 per second. Then if we take our 3 and bring this up to a higher elevation like so, drag this, go up, connects up like we want it to, bring it into these 3 stackers, now we have a 30 line. Crap, and now we have a 30 line. Now we have a 30 line. Maybe I didn't do my math correctly. Maybe I didn't do my math correctly. Anyway, we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way. But what we can do now, we'll take these. They come through on this bottom side. We'll go into another stacker, like so. Now they'll be on the bottom side of that stacker because now we can take our last line. I've messed up. How did I end up accidentally using my other line? Get rid of this. Get rid of this. I needed to split this. Split this into an opposite direction. Now we can go up and connect up into that. There we go. That's what I meant to do. Bring this back down as I accidentally hit the pause menu for the 100th time. Bring this on over. And now we can drag this into the upper side where we want it to. Bring it on up into these 3 stackers. Yeah, those 3 stackers. Bring it back down. And now we have ourselves a triple stack square. Now that should be a triple stack square. So I may not have done my math correctly. So we got a 60 going into a 30-30, but then we have a 60 going right on top of our 30-30. But I was trying to think of maybe doing a 40-40 or some weird 45 or like a 35-35. It's a lot of weird convoluted math, but the fact that it matters is that we're at least getting 30 per minute, so it shouldn't be too bad. But honestly, I've been having a lot of fun recording this. I've been having a lot of fun trying to build my brain, kind of build a new efficiency, kind of just think of new ways to solve these problems, and it really does have a lot of fun to sit here and just kind of be a little bit of a problem solver along with it. And I hope that you guys have been having fun too. But hey, if you guys want to see more, make sure to comment down below. Let me know if you guys want to see a little bit more of this kind of different style of content of sitting back, relaxing, and kind of figuring things out together. But hey, this is all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe down below, and I'll make sure to see you guys in the next video. Thank you, and bye-bye.